What is up? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Before the Lights on Area956 Facebook page. If you're scrolling through your Facebook and this is just randomly popping up, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. You gotta like it because it's gonna keep you up to date, whether you're looking for sports, whether you're looking for fine dining, whether you're just looking for content to fill your day. Area956 is the place where you've got to hit. There's a reason why 249,000 of your closest friends have already liked the page. You need to like it too. Welcome to the Wednesday night content. He is Mr. Jake Berry. How are you, Jake?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Glad you're here.
Week 5.
Week 5 of the Valley High School football season. I'm Tony Fortina. We are going to be looking at a particular group of games, and then we'll discuss some more games as they are coming up. But Week 4 highlights. What is the big game that stands out to you that made you think we were dead on with that prediction?
Well, I took a lot of heat from Starr County.
Who gave you heat in Starr County?
Some Rio people, and I understand. Look, I picked against Rio,
right.
and I put a little stat out there. They had played teams that were about 1-6 or 1-5.
Right.
And so they hadn't played the same competition as Mission Vets, so I merely pointed that out, and I did it with statistics, not any of my personal beliefs. Because I love Rio.
Right.
Mission Vets played well against them, and I like that pick. I actually lost in the pick for Arlington South, and you won.
I'm telling you, bro, you got to follow my lead.
Yeah.
You got to follow my lead. All right, so some of the games that we covered last week that we'll go back and recap real quick. Weslaco at Harlingen South. Weslaco picks up a 41-35 overtime victory. Surprised by that?
No, I picked Harlingen South to win
Right.
because I thought that I saw them play Mackay, and I thought they had a really, really good defense. I was surprised by that it went to overtime, but they're both two very good teams, coached well, and who knows? Maybe you'll see them in the playoffs.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm the Harlingen South coach, I don't have a fear of putting in the kicker.
Oh, that kid can boot.
Did you see the kid, I think his name is Mr. Torres, Leo Torres, that sent us the video of this kid kicking off? That had to be at least 48. Are you watching the same game I was?
I don't know. I'm bad at math.
That had to be like a 60 yards in the air kick that got to the back of the end zone. It was almost declared a safety, but they called it a touchback instead. So if I'm that coach, I'm not afraid to put that kid in the kick at any time. PSA Southwest traveled down the pace, and unfortunately the Javelinas, it didn't go good for them against the Vikings.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that I was a little wrong on pace. I thought they might be a little deficient in some areas.
Right.
And they weren't. They played a really tough PSA Southwest team and won that game. And for PSA Southwest, maybe that was a hiccup, and you kind of hope that was because I think that they can get it back going. They play Palmview this week. I think they're okay.
So you think PSA Southwest maybe kind of said, hey, it's Brownsville Pace, it's at Sam Stadium, we're going to be okay, we really don't.
I think it's more of...
It happens to every team at some point throughout the season.
You're riding that 3-0 record, and sometimes you lose sight of what's in front of you.
Right.
And maybe you're looking at the overall, and it happens. I mean, it's not, you can't... I'm not saying that happened. I'm just saying that could be a contributing factor. You think you're a little bit better than what you are. Now that helps you reset and realize what you have to work on to make the play.
Got it. We talked about one Harlingen team beating a Weslaco team. Let's flip it. Harlingen High coming up with the victory over Weslaco East.
Yeah, I was impressed by Harlingen. Weslaco East is usually plays everybody tough, and they struggled a little bit this year, but
To be expected.
yeah, and they've lost a lot. It's not. But I think what you see is that they're using non-district to get ready for the district play,
Right.
like a lot of good coaches do. Coach Forget's the same way. I really think that they'll start clicking.
What are you doing?
Eddie's taking a picture of us, so I wanted to make sure I get my good side. But
You got to turn
no.
around.
But Coach Burgett is a great coach. He's going to right that ship. I think you'll see that when it comes to district, they'll get it right, and they'll be a contender.
And then lastly, Rio Grande City, Mission Vets. Mission Vets comes up with a 38-21 victory over Rio Grande City. Preach it, brother. Tell me why it is.
Mission Vets is a strong team. I mean, you don't go 4 rounds deep last year and not have talent. Even if you're replenishing a quarterback like Landry Gilpin and some other skill positions and some line, you're still going to be able to click like you did last year. Congratulations to Mission Vets, but I'm not saying Rio's not a good team. They're going to have another tough game this week,
Right.
and that we'll talk about that later, and we'll also make our predictions. But Rio is a good team. It's just that Mission Vets has been there, and you're going into their house. It's going to be very difficult to win there. And for Coach Mireles, you're playing the schedule that was given to you. You're a brand new coach there. You didn't come up with that schedule. You did what you had to do. And a lot of people on Twitter were telling me they beat who they're supposed to beat. Yes, you did. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the caliber of competition wasn't equal to that of Mission Vets.
This is almost the same argument that, and don't get upset, don't send the hate emails. This is the same type of argument the Dallas Cowboys fans are having right now. And I say that because, I mean, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Dak, I'm scared. We're about to play some real teams. And Dak hugs Zeke and says, my favorite Ewok, I know. I'm scared too.
Baby. I'm scared too, baby.
Is this a good correlation? Can we say that's what is happening to Rio right now?
Yeah, and pardon this pun, but this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where teams either go to survive or go to die, and this is what happens. I mean, right now you're about to see the meat of your season, and the next few games are all that matter because you can start horribly and your season's over. I mean, some of the districts.
As a Steeler fan, I know exactly what that
yeah.
feels. We're 0-3. I know exactly how that feels.
Yeah, and I think right now, if you're a coach, you're looking at it, you're like, gotta get this one. You gotta every game from now on matters. The other games are nothing to you. I mean, just sweep those behind and start every guy fresh.
Right.
Because I mean, you look at it this week alone, or just around here, there's some meaningful games. Mackay and Rowe play, Memorial and Mission play. We're going to do those picks later for McAllen Memorial and Mission.
Yep.
But those games all matter because they're all money games. The other ones, sweep those under the rug.
There you go. So looking back at it, if I remember correctly, we said that I picked Weslaco, you picked Harlingen South.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
you were right.
1-0 and 0-1. How did we do PSG Southwest?
Both of us picked PSG Southwest, so
Okay.
we both lost on that.
So we're 1-1 and you're 0-2. Harlingen and Weslaco East. Did I pick Harlingen? Did you pick Weslaco East?
No, yeah, I think I did.
I think that so. I'm.
Oh no, I picked Harlingen. Yeah.
So
I'm afraid of Manny too.
Okay, so you're 1-2 and I'm 2-1, and then Rio Grande City Mission Vets. I think we both went with Mission Vets.
Yeah. Hey guys, just got a message on my phone. If we could crank up the audio a little bit online, they're telling us. Thank you, Louis, for telling us. But yeah, you're right. And if you can't hear us, we'll make it better. But
our audio team is now working on it.
They're wonderful.
We're making this happen.
Yeah.
We're making the correction. The audible has been called. All right. So let's look at some of the upcoming games that we're going to look at this week. First, Brownsville Vets taking on Rio Grande City. We just spoke about Rio Grande City and what's happening with their program. How do they rebound against the Chargers?
Look, that's a tough one. Right away. I mean, you're talking about your meat of your season right now, and remember, they have been in their season already early.
Right.
So Mission Vets was a very difficult game. It simulates what you're faced against against Brownsville Vets. But Brownsville Vets didn't play that well against Mission Vets either. So you can almost make this a push game. And Rio has played exceptionally well. Brownsville Vets lost to Mission Vets, but I see this as more Brownsville Vets game to win rather than Rio's game to lose. I think Rio is the favorite here. I believe they're playing at home, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
Brownsville Vets is at Rio Grande City.
Yeah. So it's more of a trip for Brownsville Vets in more ways than one, but I think that they have to get this. They have to get this pickup.
And some of the players that you want to watch: Liam Longoria, quarterback of the Chargers, 5'9", 175, runs a 4.9. Last year's stats: he's had 1,410 yards, 14 TDs passing, 350 yards, 14 TDs rushing. So 28 TDs on the total. Last game, where they played PSG Memorial and they won 49-7. He had 230 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 88 rushing yards, and 1 touchdown run.
Yeah.
All right, so that's not bad. He put on 5 of the 7 touchdowns there for the Chargers. Now for Rio Grande City, the quarterback on the other side is Mario Garza. Last game he had 107 passing yards with one touchdown. Brownsville Vets is favored by 2, so we'll see how that turns out. But we'll do the pick later on in just a bit. Mercedes at Ed Couch Elsa. Do you remember when this game, like you shut down at Mercedes, the outlet mall would close at 4:30?
You took the batteries off the shelf. You're not selling those that night.
Sidewalks were rolled up because nobody was going to be around town. Ed Couch Elsa, Leroy's Chicken is where they were going to go after the game.
No bus was safe.
No, it was one of those. Has this series lost its now are people saying I'm not going to go to the game?
I will say this, yes. Right away I'll say yes. However, can it regain it with this game?
No doubt.
Yeah. And actually on 956 Sports Facebook page, there was one of my memories came up was the kick from a couple years ago where Mercedes was a Mercedes that hit the field goal late to beat Ed Couch Elsa.
Right.
And that was the year actually that Ed Couch Elsa went 3 rounds deep with Coach Manichilad. But I think that this game has all the makings of probably the game of the week. I know some places aren't making it the game of the week.
Right.
But I think that this is one of the games of the week. I think that both teams come in with great records, similar records, right? It's
2-2.
2-2. So, I think that both of them have the ability to put up points, to play fast. It'll be interesting. I still think, Ed Couch Elsa is an enigma to me, so it's really hard to look at. I mean, you've got the stats in front of you.
I got it right here. Last year's starting lineup, starting returners from the offense and the defense. Mercedes has got 8 on each side. Ed Couch Elsa returns 5 on the offensive side, 6 on the defensive side. Here's my thing, though. I don't know if Ed Couch Elsa is at this point yet. I know Mercedes is there. Mercedes has had some pretty stiff competition out of their 4 games. I know Ed Couch Elsa has played some stiff competition, but I don't know if they've risen to the top. Is this going to be the game that the Yellow Jackets actually say, this is the time that we need to start doing it? If they do turn it on, then it becomes, do they have the talent to turn it on and make something like that happen? We're going to have to see if that is something that Ed Couch Elsa and La Máquina can do there. But Ed Couch Elsa favored by 3 in this contest for entertainment purposes only. No wagering allowed there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Our next game, Palmview, PSA Southwest. What are your thoughts?
I'm really glad Eddie put this one on the shot sheet here. You look at what Palmview's 2-2, 2-1 in district, but Southwest has been the darlings, or at least for us. We think that they're the darlings of football this year because going 3-0 and never been 3-0.
I never use the term darlings. I think it's the Javelina's time. I think they've been around long enough. Unfortunately, they haven't had the stability. They've got a fiery new coach. They've had some great coaches in the past, but I think this coach really relates to these players. I think the staff that he's built around them is actually relating to these players a little bit more. And I think that type of energy and that kind of cohesive teamwork is what's going to put them over the top. I do think that, they're excelling. I don't think they're at their high point yet.
Yeah, I look at what Palmview has done,
right.
And I look at, they beat Donna, but it was a very close game. I mean, you're talking about 19-16, and Donna isn't one of the, they're at the bottom of that district right now. So I think that PSA Southwest, having lost to the Vikings, Pace, that they're top billing right now in that district. They're one of the top teams in the district. I believe they're tied for first. So I think if you're looking at quality wins, PSA Southwest has played some stiffer competition.
And that's the thing that we need to look at. What is the quality of your wins? And I think PSA Southwest has really kind of stepped up and surprised a lot of people that weren't expecting to have the success right now the way that they're having it now with their new coach, Mark Evans. But obviously, they're doing what they need to do. So key players to be on the lookout for On the Palmview side of the ball, running back Carlos Peña, number 21. Last year's stat, he had 690 yards rushing, 9 rushing touchdowns. On the Southwest side, it is Cesar Bocanegra. He is another running back, 5'8", 165 pounds, runs a 4.7, 574 yards, 4 touchdowns rushing. That was last year's stat. So, something to be on the lookout for. And when these two teams met last year, the Javelinas pulled out that 1-point, 28-27 victory. So we'll talk about what we expect coming up this week in just a little bit.
Wait, say the spread. Say the spread.
Spread is Southwest by 9. The Hogs expected to run wild. You never know.
Yep.
Things could happen. And our last game, McCallum Memorial travels to Tom Landry Stadium to take on the Mission Eagles. McCallum Memorial coming in with a 3-0 record. They were off last week. Mission is sitting at 2-1. They too were off last week. It's going to be something where you've got to sit back and kind of watch what Coy Detmer is putting together in Mission. Obviously, we all remember the late 80s, early 90s, Mission Eagle football passing through your neighborhood soon. You had Lupe Rodriguez, you had Coy Detmer, you had Sonny Detmer as the coach, and it was all about chucking the ball. I will never forget, as a senior at PSA in 1989, we traveled to Tom Landry Stadium on the first offensive series of the Eagles. Coy Detmer went down. And, I don't want to say that we encourage people to get hurt. The last thing we want to do is injury on the field. But when we saw him go down, our entire student section lost our mind because we were very excited that we might actually stand a chance to pick up the W here in this game. So we'll see how it is. Fast forward to 30 years, Coy Detmer has now come back to become the coach of the Mission Eagles. They've had their difficulties. It's been a learning process for him. On the other side of the sideline, you've got Bill Littleton, who has got some tremendous history behind him. And on the field this year, he's got Campbell Spates. Yes.
And you see Campbell Spates, you'll probably never see a faster player down here in the Valley that hits the edges and takes off. I mean, he's a jet. When he takes off, he's gone, and he hits the edges like nobody's business.
He's got 2 gears. It's kind of like, let me slowly scope out what's happening here. Once he finds the hole, boom, he's gone.
Yeah, and he's a different runner. Stop comparing him to his brother. He is that Robert Smith. If you don't remember Robert Smith, it's like
Minnesota Vikings.
Yes, he would take off through the hole, and it was a sprint. There's other guys that like that contact. He doesn't. Not that he doesn't like the contact. He doesn't need to face the contact because he's blowing past him.
Here's how I look at it. We'll think back Memorial football years back. Bradley Stevens. Bradley Stevens, an excellent running back, always did his best to avoid the hit. You get Trevor Spates that comes in. Trevor liked to hit. Trevor would look for somebody to hit while he was in the process of racking up all these yards. Campbell is more like Bradley Stevens, where he just kind of finesses his way through and gets the job done in that perspective there.
Yeah.
And like we said, he has 2 speeds. He's got that innate ability where he can grab the ball and then he'll look at the field, assess it, and decide from there in that split second where it is that he's going to go.
And I did a show with Mark May today. He's very close to breaking 1,000 yards, depending on this game, in 4 games. So, he's very close. So you're talking about 4 games, 1,000 yards, pretty salty.
Yeah. And, last year it was Mission 38, McCallum Memorial 42. But let's talk about McCallum Memorial's big victory 2 weeks back over Vela. A lot of people thought Vela was going to just roll. A lot of people were under the assumption that Vela was the dominant team in the RGV. McCallum Memorial travels to Edinburgh, Richard Flota Stadium.
Yes.
Okay, and they did a number on Vela. Is McCallum Memorial the dominant team in the RGV?
I think right now, you have to be the best, you have to beat the best.
Right.
Vela have been the best. Memorial beat them. Until somebody beats Memorial, which I think is possible with Mission, they're number 1. And if you look at everything else, anybody has them first. So,
did this bye week come at the right time for Memorial coming in to face Mission? Because you think your team gets built up so high, your team gets so jacked up to play what is the big bully on the block, and you beat the bully, do you take that week off and do you say, hey guys, enjoy it, savor the flavor, but let's get ready because now we're actually going to start our district season?
I think any coach, that worth a darn is
worth the darn.
I think any coach that's worth a darn is gonna know is gonna get their kids ready for district, because that was great. But if you remember, Coach Livingston would usually lose a couple games in non-district,
right,
and then run the tables.
Right.
And so, yes, would you have liked to have lost? No, not one bit. But would it have served them to lose a game along the way? Maybe, because
that Hannah game.
Yeah, the Hannah game. But I think if you look at that Hannah game was your almost loss. Especially to,
right,
to a lesser team. And so I like what Coach Littleton will do, and he'll usually correct that ship. But playing Mission first game is difficult, and so this team will have to come ready, and I think they will be. So but I think this game is going to be intense.
Well, it's going to be a good one to go watch there at Tom Landry Stadium Friday night in Mission. All right, now that we've spoken about the games, let me bring you up to speed on Mission. The key players to watch: Jeremy Duran, quarterback, number 3; Horacio Moronta, he's the running back, number 9. Two guys that you need to be on the lookout for. Returning starters for Mission, they got 8 on the offensive side, 6 on the defensive side. For McAllen Memorial, 6 on the offense, 7 on the defense. So that might be a good balance right there that they can use. Going back to them though, let's start Memorial pick to win by 11. I'll start that. Does Memorial pull out the victory by 11?
Well, before we do the picks, let's just tell everybody where we're at, because we haven't done that.
Have we not mentioned it?
We haven't done, because we're not telling what Facebook page we're on and why we're here, and because and then totally that gives me time to think. That gives me time to think.
So we are here at UFC Gym McAllen. That is happening in the background here. Again, that's UFC Gym McAllen. If you come out and you decide that you want to work out, here are the different options you have. As you walk in, you look to the left. Boom, there's your treadmills. If you look a little further back, you see the ring. You got the actual octagon. If you want to come in and you want to do some kickboxing, you got somebody you want to spar with, they got it there. In the very back, they've got a different area where you can do jiu-jitsu. You can actually come out and do jiu-jitsu if you bring your own partner. But let's say
they have classes, so you can do classes. Yeah, they have classes for everything.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to get some different elevations. You want to go out and you want to say, listen, I'm going to get my heart rate up. I want to burn some more fat. They actually have this interesting contraption right here that you can probably see. It's the red and black, where you can run up the stairs, across the platform, and then back down the stairs. Interesting that you can see. We also have the punching bag, and then on the side to my left, which is probably your right if you're holding the phone, that is going to be the area where you have your machine weights. So by telling you all that, I'm going to tell you that they've got you covered. But you're probably thinking to yourself, what if I want to bring my kids? What if I want to get like a family membership? They can do that too. They have a special program. It's called the DUT program, D-U-T. You can bring your family and you can all work out together. UFC Gym in McAllen. They're just at the corner of McCall and Vine, south of Nolana. You can't miss it. You got to come on by. And if you're a watcher, if you're an avid viewer of Area 956, you know that this is Before the Lights. It's with Jake Berry and myself, Tony Fortina. We do this every Wednesday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. We come out, we talk about some football. We'll talk about each other's and his hair and my hair and
other body problems that we have.
The fact that somebody looks like he's a billboard that could be on the expressway, representing the UFC gym. But we got all that covered. So it has come time to do the picks portion of the night.
All right.
Here's where we go. We've broken down each game. We've talked about the players that are going to be the impact players to be on the lookout for. Obviously, there's 22 players on the field at all times. Out of those 22, we've mentioned 1 or 2. That means that there are 17 to 20 players that could come out and shock you. And you're going to go, man, those 2 guys that have absolutely no clue what they're talking about really showed it, because they didn't even highlight this young athlete here. You're ready to go, Nancy?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. You're prime. You're ready to go. So let's go back to our first game. Brownsville Vets traveling all the way across. Would they merit like leaving on Thursday and getting a hotel room just so that they can be there Friday in Rio Grande City? Brownsville Vets travels to Rio Grande City. It's the Chargers versus the Rattlers. I'll start this one off.
Okay. And by the way, Rudy Youngblood, thank you for watching.
Rudy, Thank you, brother. Out there in Sherryland. Let's start this one off. Brownsville Vets travels to Rio Grande City. I'm taking Brownsville Vets in this one.
You know what? I think I'm going back and forth on this game. I've been looking at it. I've tried to like figure out which team I like. I'm not picking Rio because you were mad at me last week. So, and I'm not going to pick Brownsville Vets. So
we're going for the third team on the field, the officials.
Yeah.
We think the guys in
I think they're going to get paid well. So it'll be a lot of people at this game. No, you know what? I'm going to go with Rio on this. And the reason for that, they're playing at home. They just kind of got a reality check. I think this is their game to right the ship.
Okay.
And I keep using that this season, but I think that they'll get everything fixed in this game, and I think Coach Cantu will make it a game.
Right.
But I think Rio looks pretty tough on paper. We'll see if they do it today.
All right.
Or tomorrow.
Last week you chose against
Friday.
me, and look at what you did last week compared to what I did. So I'm going with the Chargers. He's going with the Rattlers on this one. Our next game, Mercedes at EdCal Chelsea. The Tigers are traveling to the Black Hole. We were having a conversation yesterday about our stadium experiences, and I'll never forget, I was covering a Mercedes game on a Friday night. It was Edinburgh High at EdCal Chelsea, and it was the Battle of the Velas. And I'm on the sidelines. Of course, when we were out there, we're always on the home team sideline. I'm watching the scoreboard, and it had like 14:32 on the clock. And I looked down, and I looked back up, and then the time had gone from 14:32 to like 11:17. In just a mere moment that I did this, we lost 2.5 minutes, just 2.5. I'm not saying that there's any shenanigans going on there. That's the last thing I want to say.
Turn the power off. All right.
Start us off. Mercedes EdCal Chelsea, who are you going with?
Let's go with, I'm going to go with Mercedes in this game. Yes, EdCal Chelsea is playing well. I saw Mercedes play live against Rowe.
Yep.
I thought they were very impressive. They got a young nucleus. I'm taking Mercedes. Sorry, Eddie's here. He went to Rowe, and he's looking mighty fine today.
He's got the whole grooming thing.
Yeah.
It was after the Area 956.
Someone was going downtown.
Where they did the food challenge, and they were at Dragon Warrior having some ramen. Look at you, Eddie, you big stud. If you really want to pick up the chicks, though, you're going to lose the star, bro. You just take the NFC lease team off your shirt, and then you'll be okay. All right, you're going with Mercedes. I'm going with Mercedes. I just don't know if EdCal Chelsea has reached that point where they can hang with the Tigers yet so far. I'm sure it's coming back. I'm sure this is going to be one of the top rivalries soon, but I don't think it's happening this week. Palmview is traveling to PSJA Southwest.
Okay, I'm going to give a shout out to my boy on the offensive line over there, Johnny Galvan, and blindside protection. The line has been doing a great job this year. He's one of the line coaches. You know, we know a lot of the coaches over there. Yeah. Coach Evans is doing a great job over there. I'm going to pick them to win, and the reason for that is I think that their quality of opponents is a little bit better. I mean, that loss to the Vikings was a loss, but I think it's good competition before this game. I don't, Palmview beat Donna, but I still think that the edge goes to PSG Southwest.
I agree with you 100%. I think that and I always talk about it. We fall into this rut, maybe because we're in the Upper Valley, maybe because there's such an emphasis put on the Upper Valley teams, the McAllens, the Edinburghs, the Missions. The Mid-Valley teams really come up and they step up. And it just seems that as you head east, nobody thinks of that competition. You just kind of, we're playing a Brownsville team. Yeah, yeah. But this is one of those games that I'm going back to their loss last week against Brownsville Pace. They may have done that for all we know. And this might be the game where you pull your straps back up and you're ready to go. I'm taking PSJ Southwest in this one as well. And then finally, McAllen Memorial travels right down the road to Tom Landry Stadium to take on the Mission Eagles. Coy Detmer, Bill Littleton, Campbell Spence, the Eagle defense. Thoughts?
Mission sophomore quarterback who played last year, played exceptionally well in Jeremy Dunan. Sensational talent. And you're going to go against a Memorial team that's playing great defense right now. So it'll be interesting. At the beginning of the year, man, they look like NFL, they look like a Madden game. Like it was like Tecmo Bowl the way they were like throwing stuff around. Especially when they played Mission Vets. They haven't really had that stiff competition since that Mission Vets game. Except for Pioneer, and that didn't work out that well for him.
Right.
Pioneer ran right past him. I'm going to go with McAllen Memorial for a couple reasons. I think that they're playing their best football that I've seen in a while, and it's a very complete team on offense and on defense. They've got a quarterback that can throw. They've got receivers that can catch. They've got a running back that's just so. You know, he'll only have 1,000 yards probably after this game.
He said it, not me.
No, Campbell Spates is the best, and I think that the edge goes to McAllen Memorial, but it's at Mission, so I think it's going to be a very close game. The spread's 11 right now on this sheet right here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 11. I think it's more probably like 6.
All right, I can agree with everything that you said there. Here's where I think the difference is going to be. Although Coy Detmer comes from a coaching family, this is his first head coaching job. This is year number 4, I believe, for Coy. Bill Littleton on the other side of the ball. He's been through big games. He's been through games that really don't matter. He's had his good days. He's had his bad days. And I think that is going to be the kicker there, the coaching experience. I see a tight matchup. I don't think it's going to be 11 points either. I see Campbell Spates running wild, but I also see the Eagles offense spreading the ball out, and they're going back to old Eagle football. It's going to be a lot tighter than what it is, but I'm thinking that the Stan Gang is going to pick up the victory on Friday night when they play at Mission.
Your brother said for me not to let you influence me. I did not. I influenced him. See that? But no, it should be a good week. I want to thank Eddie for putting these good stats in front of us, because if it wasn't for Eddie, we would just be up here saying that guy, that one player is really good. But yeah, special thanks to Area 956 for putting this on, giving us the opportunity and the venue to really promote high school athletics.
And the best part is that if you missed it live, you can always go back and watch it again the way we're doing it. So that is the big show for this week. Anything that we're missing out, any game that we didn't touch on that you think is worthy of just giving a quick plug to?
Well, I think if you look across the board, let me just go to week 5.
Yes, sir.
Week 5, can you believe that? I think if you look across the board, we're covering the majority of the good ones. McAllen Rowe we're playing, and that's a really good game because of the rivalry. But for the most part, that's about it. Los Fresnos, by the way, playing Permian. Those are difficult games. Hannah's playing Amarillo Tascosa. Midland is playing Harlingen. So basically everything you've seen in a movie, like, or a TV show, it's pretty much going to be the Harlingen, the 32 6A are playing all those teams. So anything you've heard, like San Benito, Midland Lee, I mean, the big names in high school football, they're playing. Best of luck. We'll see you next week.
Let me see your big board here. Thursday night action, Lopez is going to travel to Donna to take on the Redskins. Sherryland will travel to Laredo to take on Figueroa. And then Juarez Lincoln is going to travel to PSA to take on PSA North. Saturday night games, PSA Memorial traveling down to Brownsville to take on Pace. Hannah will travel to Amarillo. Midland is traveling to Harlingen. That might be a good Saturday night venture. Harlingen South is headed to Odessa. San Benito headed to Midland Lee. So that is, if your team was not mentioned in either one of those 8 games, it's because they're playing Friday night. So make sure that you follow there. But several games to be on the lookout for. We'll have all the recaps of these 4 games that we talked about next Wednesday. We start at 7 o'clock. Thanks to our friends here at UFC Gym McAllen. They're at the corner of Fern and McCall, just south of Nolana on McCall. You can't miss it. You want to come down. You want to talk to them. And, of course, where are we going for the food next week? Where's the food next week? Everybody's just kind of... We've done Scalisi's Pizza. We've done the Dragon Warrior Ramen. You mentioned my brother. Mm-hmm. There's a place called On the Grill, South Jackson and Far. That's not a gratuitous free plug. Simply a recommendation for you guys to check it out there. That might be something good. So you never know where you're going to find the guys from Area 956, but we do know for certain that you can always find them right here on Facebook. And if you haven't liked the page, do so now. Any parting thoughts, sir?
No, and I'd like to thank UFC Jim for allowing me to wear this shirt. After they see me in this shirt today, they're probably going to maybe give it back, but I appreciate you letting me wear it today.
If you got a two Ekis, you know, I mean, there's two of us. That's double the coverage.
Yeah.
Wow, we got to go because Nate Mata's walking up the stairs right now. Thanks so much for joining us. Catch us on the replay. And, of course, look for our page at 956 Sports. We're going to do some picks much later, not now. But thanks so much for joining us. Area 956, like the page, subscribe to it, tell all your friends. Comment right here underneath that they need to become followers of this page because you're going to have an idea of what's going on throughout the entire Rio Grande Valley. Whether you're looking for sports, whether you're looking for food, whether you're looking for entertainment, it's all right here. This is more fun than the impeachment hearings that aren't going to be happening. Have a great week. Good luck to your team. Safe travels. See you later, amigo.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us on Area 956.